Hello YouTube, Joey here from Team Burning Infinity, and I've got a pretty important video for you guys. This is a discussion video of sorts. Not gonna continue the series, but this is something I thought I'd get out there, since I think it's pretty important to bring up with the way the game's headed. Buddyfight started off as a game where you just basically build a deck with whatever cards you get, and you see how well you do. Sort of like Yu-Gi-Oh! And this game actually relates to a lot to like Yu-Gi-Oh! I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Does have influence on the way the card game has been headed. I have no fact of this, but this is all opinion / conspiracy theory, whatever you want to call it. I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! As you guys know, and I've been looking up a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Buddyfight stuff, and I started really paying attention. And if you notice, I have 2 columns of cards. If you guys notice what's similar about these cards, then you might see where this video is headed. If you didn't notice, it's fine. I don't expect everyone to notice. I don't expect that many people to notice. But this is one column, or this is one row, and this is another row. There's a reason these cards are separated together and these cards are separated together. Here I have all Dragon World because this is where it occurs most frequent. And here I have Dragon, Katana, Dragon, Ancient. No real reason why. I just thought I might throw these cards out. I guess all these cards are well known. Like this, you would say is in any Katana deck. This you could say is in a good fair amount of Armor Dragon decks before this card came out. This is in almost every Dragon Knight deck. And this is in almost every Ancient World deck, because almost every Ancient World deck is based off of Seeger. Thunder Knights and generic Armor Dragons, Jackknife, Shinsengumi. If you notice what I just did, I just classified these cards. These cards aren't really able to be classified into sorts. I could say, oh, if a Katana World player literally just throws out this card, turn 1 does nothing, you still don't really have any clue what their deck they're playing. You have a better assumption of assuming ninjas, because this is where the card was introduced. Some Skull Warrior variants don't play this card, but there are that do, and they're just as good. Most of the time. This is an ending Dragon Knight deck for the fact that it's a giant wall and protects you, and also can become a very, very big beater. This good statted Soul Guard monster for a very cheap cost. I mean, there's not much else to say. This giant beat stick that has 2 Soul Guards and has evolved forms which get deadlier and deadlier. So yeah, Ancient World. You can't really say Seeger's an archetype. I wouldn't anyway. I wouldn't put it like up here. The reason I wouldn't say that is because it's just a series of size 3s. It's not a full-blown deck. Well, isn't it? Isn't. You have to play the deck around it just because the way the cards are designed. But in the sense that there aren't cards that directly say Seeger this, Seeger that. Here you have throw a Thunder Knights in hand Soul, and it is moved for the fate. For cards like this, Thunder Formation, which basically work with Thunder Knights. So, yeah. Jackknives, because you have to put on top of a Jackknife Dragon or a Jackknife card. And the Life Gaining Engine only truly helps in Jackknives. And this, because you have to have another Shinsengumi on board. And this is a pretty debated question in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I thought this is something I should bring up for Buddyfight, because it may be the direction the game's headed in. Are archetypes good for the game? Are archetypes bad for the game? I will not be taking sides. I will not do either discussion. But I wanted to say that I think we're getting a bit more linear in the sense that the decks aren't as creative. We have a lot more archetype-based cards. Like, in Dungeon World, Mixed is the best, yes, but it's not truly innovative because they had cards made for Mixed, such as Orser Kleins and Sheila Vanna, as well as Continue. 3 very powerful cards in the deck. And then we have True Adventures, which really gained their kick from the Mission card series. And we have Dungeon Enemies, which have cards like Demon Lord's Dungeon and Meteor Rain to really work with, as in their own lines. So between attributes and actual archetypes such as Thunder Knights and Shinsengumi, as well as Jackknives, I thought the game might be headed towards a more linear standpoint as of right now than a more creative standpoint. Those innovative decks will still have a place in the game, but I do believe it will be harder to make a good innovative deck, just as it is in any other card game, than to make a good deck based around Jackknives, or Shinsengumi, or Thunder Knights, or Armor Knights, or even better than that, Ace. Like, the game was sort of divided in its attributes as to the point where you had linear cards, but these attributes were supposed to divide playstyles, which made it reasonable. Now we have triple formation deck with big monster in the middle, triple formation deck, or you could have giant monster in the center, or even 4 attacks in one turn with the monster on the left. Here you have triple formation deck, size 1 rush deck / triple formation. Triple formation deck using evolutions, deafening prowess, and other abilities to manipulate the field. Here you have giant wall. Here you have, I already explained this, I already explained which everyone knows generic armor dragons are. Ninjas have quite a few variants, so I'm not going to go into depth. But the game was semi-linear before. I do feel the game is getting a lot more linear. It's sort of like Yu-Gi-Oh! In the sense that they're becoming basic structures for decks, and I don't really like that. I don't think it's truly the best thing for a game. I think there needs to be a balance between archetypes and innovative decks such as Hero World. These are proxies, so you know, but decks such as Hero or Legend World, I keep calling it Hero World for God's sake, Legend World. The reveals we've seen for Legend and Darkness Dragon are more linear based than anything Merlin. You have to discard a hero, then add hero spells or items to your hand from the top 5 cards of your deck. You have cards such as the size 2 for Asgard, which forces you to discard an Asgard card to draw. Really being another Ice Blade Joker way, but that's fine. The point is Asgard's not meant for another card to trigger. Then we have cards such as Gleipnir, where you pull a size 3 from the drop zone, or I believe it's size 3 Asgard actually, and then when that card is destroyed, you call the size 3 without paying its call cost, but it can attack that turn. Fenrir is an Asgard, so you fetch Fenrir with it, and then basically you call it, it's not affected, you attack for 6 crit that turn. Like, there's a lot of things you could do with it. So, yeah. That's what I just want to say. I think the game's getting more linear. I don't know how I feel about it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Thanks for hearing me out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out our other videos. Joy from Team Branding Infinity, signing out. Peace, guys.